There is no such thing as same-sex marriage.
Hey, good to meet you, Mindy.
Mindy, nice to meet you.
Yeah. Oh, my name's Mason, but
Mason.
it's good to meet you. Yeah,
I'm Michael.
Oh, gotcha. Wait, do you have a birth certificate?
Not on me, but I do have one.
Okay. Well, I can't confirm that your name's Michael until I see that birth certificate, just as a defender of objective truth. But we can go more into the prompts speaking about marriage.
You could actually, if you have faculties of reason and you say, well, this is the sort of fellow who presents himself, in a credible way, and you've probably checked with the producers here, they've probably verified that I am who I am. So a reasonable person would be able to know who I am.
That is more performative characteristics? Is that what you're implying? Is that I'm able, with my faculty of reason, to assume that I'm speaking with a man in front of me? And therefore, I can just politely go with the name that you're presenting to me, almost as an act of respect?
No, I just think that I wouldn't have gotten in this building if I weren't really who I say I am. So
okay, gotcha.
That would be my deduction.
Well, bring it back to the prompt.
Going back to specifically same-sex marriage.
You said you argued from an anthropology? That's like your basis of...
Yeah, men and women are different, and marriage involves one of each. Yeah.
Which specific culture are you referring to? Because we have so many cultures that have communal relationships in which people are raised. When you said in the act of procreation, have you ever heard of it takes a village to raise kids? But that's not something that's just a saying.
No, I didn't say
it happens literally in specific cultures.
No, but when I say procreation, that's the act of creating the child. And usually there aren't 3 or 4 people involved in that. It's usually 2 people.
Yeah, but even those people that do create the child, oftentimes were referred to as different genders depending on the culture that it is that you're observing.
Which cultures are you referring to?
We could talk about the Mayans. We could talk about certain Amazonian cultures. I recognize that they're not Western cultures, so you might not prioritize them, but that doesn't mean that they don't exist.
What was their... Well, they no longer exist, the Mayans.
Oh, right, because of colonialism. I'm glad that you're justifying it, though.
What was their view of gender? What specifically are you referring to?
That's specifically a social characteristic that we're all performing in right now. I mean, you can't say...
No, I'm not asking your opinion. I'm asking what... You brought up the Mayans. What did the Mayans think?
That's just something that is...
But what did the Mayans think? You brought it up. You seem so confident about this. What did the Mayans think about marriage and gender?
We can talk about difference in the way that they are recognized.
Can we? I don't know that you know the difference. You said there was a difference, but you haven't explained how there was a difference. And I think this is what people do a lot.
Wait, is this prompt specifically on the Mayan anthropology?
Okay, I'm trying to drill down to when you say there are different understandings of marriage throughout history and time and space. I say, okay, maybe that's possible. How? Tell me, point to the examples. And you said, well, the Mayans. And I said, okay, well, what did the Mayans think about marriage? And you don't have an answer. And none of these people have answers because everyone has... Do you have an answer?
People can look up right now. If you're right near a Google... Yeah, exactly. Right. Michael's trying to hone me down on trivia night right now.
No, I'm just
right
asking you to explain...
We're trying to talk about specifically our examples
I'm asking you to explain the point that you brought up. And so what people usually do is they say, well, look, I'm sure that there were all different types of marriage throughout history all over the world. And what I'm telling you is there actually hasn't